Hey guys, Dennis, Trail Talk here. I want to talk about power and the Victron. This is the battery monitor. This is the 712, the BMV 712. Okay. I've set up my dual battery system here, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. The dual battery system consists of, I'm doing some testing today. So the Redarc, this is the 50 amp BCDC. And the reason I got the 50 amp because I've got a trailer coming, and my custom trailer, I'm going to have Anderson plugs, so I'm going to be charging 2 additional batteries. So that's why I got the 50 amp. In other words, I would have got the 30 amp if I'm only working with a single battery. But I do have the 50 amp right now, and that'll change. So basically, I've got this nice little $110 pod, switch pod. All of my power runs into that, and so I can run my fridge off an Anderson plug. I've got this inverter here that runs off of this here. You see that? I've got this aux power that'll power my rooftop tent. That goes to an Anderson plug. Rock lights underneath, cargo lights, that is my LED lights over my bed. And then that is this light right there, which I should have turned on to begin with, which I wired up, that's LED. And so basically what I did was power comes from my car battery, and that power comes from the car battery. Where's it come to? Right here. This red cable. So this powers from the car battery into here. So in other words, this doesn't turn on until it senses proper voltage from the car battery. And when you turn off the ignition, this turns off because this little blue wire is the ignition switch. Okay, so that goes to ignition power. This goes up front to the battery. There's a 60 amp inline fuse, an anal fuse, and then I've got my ground, which comes from my battery well, it's not my battery post. I've just got a ground up in front, and I had enough cable. I'm using 4 gauge for all of this. And so that ground runs to my power block. So this is the shunt. Let me say something about the shunt. All right. I hooked this up, and what I did initially, let me lay this down so you can see what I'm talking about. Initially, when I hooked this up, I didn't know that this was like directional. Okay. So actually I had my battery, my secondary battery, hooked to this side of the shunt, and then everything else hooked to this side on the negative side. And I was getting weird readings, and I was always reading 100%, and I'm like, why is that? So I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and I'm like, you know what, this is directional. It's a stupid little mistake. Okay, I flipped it around, and now I'm finally reading what I'm supposed to read. This thing is amazing. I love this thing. And what it's given me, let me go back here. Right here, I'm seeing the draw right now, and because I just unplugged it, I haven't reset my battery because I'm going to set it to 100% when I know it's at 100%. What I did was I was messing around trying to draw it down with some power, so I plugged something in my inverter to draw it down when I was doing some initial testing. And then I've got solar plugged in down here. And the solar, of course, it's a cloudy day, so I'm not pulling much. But when this detects solar, this unit here is going to, let me turn this light off. You're going to see a red light, and that's drawing solar or green power, and it will always prioritize green power over the other power. But I also believe that, you know, if it load balances to know that if you need power, it's going to pull from your alternator. But other than that, it's going to draw from your green power. So anyways, the Victron has a Bluetooth app, and that's especially why I got this bad boy, because the Bluetooth app, I don't have to run over to my vehicle and look what's going on. I can just go to the app, see exactly what's coming in and what's going out, and what my estimated time of I see percentage and all that. I mean, there's tons of videos on this online, so you can look at that. So anyways, all of my ground goes to this block here. All of my power goes to this block. And so solar comes in through this 30 amp And then that feeds right into this yellow, into the Redarc, okay? And then all the ground goes to this unit right here, okay? So, got a little quick 60 amp shut off that goes to this little pod. Again, I love this little pod. I don't need to flash my lights. I don't need to strobe. I don't need to dim or anything like that. So that's why I've got this, okay? I actually put one of these in my truck too, which I love. And I mounted that bad boy right up here. And I took out my sunglasses holder because I never fit my sunglasses up here, and I actually wear prescription glasses. So I took that bad boy out and I wired that up here and ran the cable along the headliner all the way down the case and right through the firewall. And so with this, I'm running my light bar in my my winch. I got a Baja Designs light bar. I can run my fridge internally. I've got an Anderson plug internally here. Rack lights. I'm going to put rock lights on pretty soon. Got another aux power hood lights. That's my ditch lights. And then I have backup lights, and then I turn on my CB, not my CB, but my FRS GMRS radio right there. So this thing works great. Again, it's $100 and it works. So, I have the little Jackery, and matter of fact, it's right here. And that Jackery, it's a good little unit. And I got this with it, so that's what I'm using right now to power my secondary battery. But let me share it with you a little bit. I tried running my fridge off the Jackery. Works fine if you can keep the dang thing plugged in, because a 12 volt power cigarette adapter does not seat itself very well. Vibrations, being on the trail, that thing is wiggled loose I don't know how many times, plus trying to charge the dumb thing with the cigarette lighter. So I just abandoned it, because it's like, you know, Jackery works, but if you got to work off cigarette connections and you're off-roading, forget it. Because there's too much vibration. I got a dog in the back seat too, and he moves around, and so I need Anderson plugs. So Anderson plugs is what I use. I like the Anderson plugs. I've got 3 down here. Again, I'm not done with my wiring, so please forgive me. But I've got my Anderson plugs over here. I've got 3 of them. 1 for fridge, 1 for my rooftop, 1 for my heater. I've got a diesel heater that I'm running. And so by doing that, that's going to give me the opportunity to make sure I have secure power, and I know exactly how much, because the Jackery, it's only 500 watts and there's not a lot of power in that. So right now I'm running a 92 amp hour battery, deep cycle gel battery. I didn't go bigger than that because I'm not out that many days for me. Plus I've got a trailer that's coming. It's going to have 200 amp hours on my trailer, off-road trailer, Striker trailers, strikercampers.com. Check it out. We're going to be shipping starting the 1st of the year, and these things are bad. Totally amazing. But anyways, what this does is it gives me peace of mind. I can run my heater, because I do a lot of winter camping, 4-season camping. So I can run my diesel heater, I can run my refrigerator, I can run my rooftop tent, which will be here in just a couple weeks, with my 23-0 awning, which it's amazing. Love that bad boy. So, you know, this was a composite of a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of research. Thanks to all the guys over in Australia, Redarc. Incredible products. I looked at doing some other things. Victron, they've got some incredible pieces of gear for this, but I think they're more slated for RV because they have independent modules. Like if you want solar, you got to add a module. I wanted everything in one, and the Redarc is smart. It's intelligent. Wish I had the Manager 30, but I was able to get the Victron monitor for $200 and a Bluetooth, where the Manager 30, I'm not getting that. And I'm paying megabucks more for what? What am I going to gain over that? So, am I happy? Yeah. And by the way, looking at this, all this is a piece of plywood that I painted. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be redoing this a little bit, and then I've got Raptor coating. I'm going to be Raptor coating that, and so that way it's more, I don't know, finished. I think I'd like that better. So that's going to be a project when I'm not going to be camping for a couple weeks. I've got some times when it's raining up here in the Northwest. I'm going to be tackling that. Other words, I'm happy. Things are going well. And sorry, showing my garbage can. Keep hunting, keep fishing. Dude, if you've got a better solution for dual battery setup, let me know. I still got to tie up cables, my Cat 5 cable to the shunt. I've got to trim that up and re-terminate that, shorten that up. So this was just like a quick, let's get it fixed, because I just went out this last weekend. Loved it, except I didn't have the shunt wired in the right direction because apparently it's directional. What a concept. Like I said, I'm learning, figuring this stuff out. And so the most important part for me is I didn't want to start any electrical fires nor any damage. And so that's why I went with heavy gauge wire, and I made sure that I had the right fuses. I went with 60 amp because I'm drawing more than 50. I know sometimes Redarc they'll use 50, but I've got a couple other things. So, but I can swap those, like just boop, very easy. All right, guys, good hunting. Thanks. Trail Talk out. Subscribe, like, share.